Welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to Thomas's Reading Room, and we're coming up. We have the last chapter here. We're running it right through, which is Travis Air Force Base, San Diego, and I'm home physically. So let's get on. This is the last chapter of Trip Across the Pond. All right. After landing at Travis Air Force Base, we went from the airplane directly over to where some buses had been waiting for us. Boarding the buses, we were transported to Oakland Army Terminal in an hour-and-a-half drive. Our luggage would follow us by other means. There was no one to greet us, no band playing for us as we got off the airplane, like when we arrived at Vung Tau by ship, nor can I say that I ever entertained the thoughts that I would be greeted in such a way. Simply put, I was glad to be back alive, and that was enough. I never thought that anyone owed me for anything I did. Arriving at Oakland Army Terminal, we went into a large building and waited to be processed. By now, many of us soldiers were damn tired of waiting. Inside the building, we sat on bleachers and a soldier instructed us. It was easy to see that the soldiers doing the processing wished they could say, "Go on, get the hell out of here." However, that was not the case. There was nothing they could do other than hurry as fast as they could and hope everyone would understand. We spent the evening leading into the early hours of the morning being processed. Once we received our orders, we were issued clothing. Everyone was issued dress greens, a pair of dress shoes, socks, and a saucer hat. Many of us changed our clothes in the bathroom, leaving our khaki uniforms piled on the floor. There probably was one hell of a pile. However, I would not know, as I was not even close to being the last person changing clothes. Like at customs and Anchorage, the soldiers were running everywhere to get done, get out of there, and on their way home. I busted my ass to get to a telephone and call a cab for 5 of us. We walked outside and there must have been 30 cabs sitting there. "Fuck, just grab any cab, let's go," I said, one of the soldiers. "Put this fucking car in gear and let's go. We're going to the San Francisco airport," yelled one soldier to the cabbie as we were jamming into the cab. We arrived at San Francisco International Airport in record time. Then each of us threw some money, more than enough to cover the fare, into the cab. The 5 of us bid each other farewell and went our separate ways. I purchased a ticket and boarded an airplane for San Diego, California. Uncle Guy lived in San Diego, and I had thought, since I was so close, there was no reason not to visit. He owned and operated a bar called the Tumbleweed Tavern that served beer and wine only. He was definitely a talented man, and I'd been told that there was nothing he could not do. To name a few things, he built a doll resembling Paul McGuire and then presented it to him one evening at the Tumbleweed Tavern, hand-carved various characters out of plaster Paris, made molds for trophy companies, constructed wooden frames for his wife's eyeglasses, hand-carved and assembled 6 violins, and made his false teeth. Uncle Guy stood over 6 foot and wore a size 15 ring. He was perhaps the hardest person to get along with, and he was always attempting to figure out an easy way of doing things. When in Vietnam, Uncle Guy sent me a coin purse with the name and address of the bar on it and a note telling me to save my money. There was a time when I was somewhere around the age of 12, and Father told me that Uncle Guy wanted me to help him build a garage attached to his recently built home. That sounded good to me. So, on the coming Saturday, Father dropped me off at Uncle Guy's house. That entire day, Uncle Guy never once spoke a word to me, nor did he let me move a finger to help him. I had never felt so helpless in my entire life. At the end of the day, Uncle Guy was standing on the rafters at the garage roof when he motioned for me to climb up to where he stood. Climbing up on the rafters, we knelt down and he showed me how to draw hair by taking his carpenter pencil and drawing on a 2x4. After that lesson, we climbed down and walked inside the house. The day had concluded. Uncle Guy gave me some money for not helping him, and Father came to take me home. Landing at the San Diego airport, after the stewardesses had made a fuss over the doll, I phoned Guy and let him know that I was there. He came to the airport with my Aunt Dutch, and after greeting each other, we drove to the bar, where many people bought me a beer. A couple of hours later, and we went to a restaurant and enjoyed a dinner. It was my first real dinner in America, and the waitresses were a sight for me to see. I had a hard time taking my eyes off them. Oh, what was that you said, Guy? After dinner, we drove to where Uncle Guy and Aunt Dunce lived, and I was given a bedroom to lay my tired, weary head. The next day, the 3 of us left for the San Diego Zoo. We spent much of the day there, though there was not enough time in one day to see everything. Leaving San Diego Zoo, we went to the restaurant, and after enjoying a great lunch, we went back to the house. I thought, what a beautiful way to enjoy the day. We sat and talked, though Uncle Guy did most of the talking. I thought that was good, as I was coming back into a society I had lost touch. "Who is the doll for?" Aunt Dutch asked me. I told her that it was for no one in particular. "Would you like to have it?" I asked. "Sure, if you want to give it to me." Aunt Dutch had a child's gleam in her eyes as I passed the doll to her. A half hour later, Uncle Guy and Aunt Dutch left for the bar. I had told them I would like to stay and rest. Awaking after a couple hours of sleep, I turned the TV on and sat on the couch. A Western movie was playing. It was nighttime, and a cowboy was sneaking up behind another cowboy who was standing inside a barn door. As the cowboy got in striking distance, he carefully pulled a pistol out of his holster. Taking the barrel of the pistol in his hand, he struck the other cowboy on the head. Simultaneously, I flew out of the couch, landing on the floor. Getting back up and sitting on the couch, I seemed dumbfounded as to what I had experienced. My nerves felt like a wire being twisted and about ready to break. My muscles were tight and my heart was beating very fast. Perhaps, like in the Philippines, I was white as a ghost. After a few moments, the moving parts of me that were racing had slowed to what seemed like a normal speed. Shutting the TV off, I sat there, motionless, on the couch and let the thoughts of the past travel through the field of the mind, being outside it. The phone rang. I jumped up, grabbed the handset, and quickly put it to my ear. I said, "Delta 6 X-ray, over." That concludes Trip Across the Pond. Thank you for listening. If you listened to all the videos of the complete book, I hope you found it very interesting, very informative, and from the soul. Thank you very much. And the next video will be coming up on a summation of the thoughts of just what was this all about. Thank you.